Hi everyone, welcome to our special bonus Christmas episode. As hopefully you'll know, we're launching our podcast series in January, but we couldn't wait until then to talk to you about Christmas, all the things that we love doing in Disneyland Paris and Disney World, and all the special things they have going on. So, hi Martin.
Hi Amanda.
You're based in Disneyland Paris. I know you've been there so many times at Christmas as well as all the other seasons. What are the particular things that you like to do?
I think my favourite thing about Disneyland Paris at Christmas is just being in the atmosphere. All the decorations, it just feels so magical and so festive. On Main Street, it snows quite a few times per day as well.
I love the snow. It's so magical, isn't it?
It does obviously snow for real over here. But to guarantee that you will, on your festive holiday to Disneyland Paris, have snow down Main Street and have it at random times of the day and then during the parade as well, and also during the tree lighting ceremony. So there's plenty of time that you're actually going to be able to get to see the snow down Main Street, and it just looks amazing and magical.
And so they do have lots of beautiful decorations as well in the parks and in the hotels, don't they?
Oh, it looks fantastic. It's the same over in Orlando as well. They have things like the Gingerbread House as well. I think that's in Grand Floridian.
It is. Oh, I love the Gingerbread House. It's the smell when you walk in the lobby. And it is like a life-size gingerbread house in there. And then you can buy it as well. So you can't go and break bits off for yourself, obviously. But they do have a little shop where they sell the gingerbread that makes up the cottage. And they bake it all there. The fantastic bakery in the Grand Floridian. They make it all, construct it in the weeks running up. And it's just the most incredible thing.
It does look amazing. And they have the same thing over at Disneyland Hotel here. I know you can buy a kit to make your own one at home, but I don't think you can actually go and buy a slab of gingerbread in the hotel.
And the details of it are just unbelievable. And then in all the other hotels, certainly in Disney World, they have special decorations. I really love the ones at the Yacht and Beach Club as well. I think the Grand Floridian has to be the top one. And I think what people don't realise as well is you don't have to be staying in those hotels to go and enjoy all the decorations and the special things. You can just go and have a wander around them. There's transportation to all of the hotels on site. So if you just want to pop into the Grand Floridian, have a little wander around, enjoy the shops, have a few drinks, then it's fine to be able to go and do that.
Oh, it's exactly the same over here in Paris. Is we will go and have a look around at Sequoia Lodge and go into the bar there, which is a really sort of rustic national forest sort of theme to it, and usually got the fire on as well. So it's a really nice place to have a hot chocolate or a cocktail. Newport Bay Club also looks amazing at Christmas, Disneyland Hotel, and even sort of the value hotels like Santa Fe and Cheyenne also just come alive, and it's got that extra little bit of magic, and you can go into the bar or into the restaurant or just have a little wander around. It's quite a nice thing, especially here. The parks generally tend to close reasonably early, sort of 7-8 o'clock during the week especially. So it gives you something quite nice to do after your evening meal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, in Florida, if you're going to the parks over there at Christmas, I mean, it's cooler than at lots of times of the year. But I mean, it's still going to be a lot warmer than it is in Paris. You're going to be cool in the mornings, cool at night once the sun's gone down. But during the day, it's definitely sort of shorts and T-shirts weather, isn't it? Which makes it even more strange when you do get some of the snow coming down in the Christmas parties. Yeah, snow in Florida. I don't think they have that too often for real. What sort of special events and things do they have over in Paris for Christmas then?
I really like the big band show that's been on for the last 2 years, which is a full orchestra. You've got these amazing singers all singing live, and they're singing all these sort of swing jazz kind of versions of classic Christmas tunes. And then you've also got the Disney characters in them as well. So you've got things like Minnie Mouse is dancing and singing as well. And then you've got Goofy coming on and trying to dance. And then Mickey does something, and it's incredibly cool. It is used in the photos for it. So you can go get a little spoiler, but I think it's absolutely amazing part of it. So I won't
don't spoil it. No, don't spoil it. Definitely not.
No.
I think one of my favourite things is seeing all the characters in their Christmas, their holiday outfits, and Mickey and Minnie have their special clothes that they wear, and that's great for some photo opportunities. I think as well, we're talking about Christmas, and this might seem like a really stupid thing to ask, but it's like, when is Christmas? Because the Christmas period at Disney, I mean, we're not talking just the week over Christmas, are we? It starts in November and goes, right through to January. So people have got a nice long time to come and visit for Christmas, whether that's Disney World or Disneyland Paris.
Yes, it's generally around sort of 2 months. The dates are never fixed. Over in Paris for the last 2 years or so, what they've done is Christmas will start on one day, but not everything. So it's generally, if you want to get the full experience, you kind of need to wait for the second or third full weekend of that month. It's very difficult because obviously days change every single year. If you're going to go, make sure you go not for the opening weekend, but the weekend afterwards, because then everything will be up and running.
Yeah, I mean, obviously things do build up over the period, but one of my very favourite times to go to Disney World is probably the end of October into November, because then you get the back end of all the Halloween celebrations and the amazing decorations and things they have for that. But then for week 2, you can be straight into Christmas. And there are videos online, YouTube videos, showing you the transformation of the parks. And it is just unbelievable. Overnight, click of the fingers, you've been Halloween, and there you are on Main Street straight into Christmas. And yeah, Disney do the most amazing job with their decorations.
They're a lot quicker at changing decorations and putting them up than I am in my house, and I've only got one tree.
Yes,
so,
yes,
maybe I should need to speak to some people who work in.
Yeah, you just get your friends around to be decorating your house.
They can come and do the tree. I know quite a few people, so they can come and do. I should really actually have an amazing tree, considering the amount of people,
you should.
creative people that I know.
At Disney World, when it's not Christmas, when all the decorations go up, you can go and do a behind-the-scenes tour, and they take you through all the warehouses where you can see all the Christmas decorations and the floats for the special Christmas parades, and that is amazing. I've done a couple of the behind-the-scenes tours, and going in those big prop warehouses and seeing all the costuming is really special. One thing that they do at Disney World, which I really like, are the special party nights. So they have Mickey's Very Merry Christmas parties, and they do start as early as November and go right up to Christmas. There is an extra charge for those, and they're not cheap, are they?
No, but you do get a lot.
Yeah, I think so. $100 to $150 per person. The price goes up as you get closer to Christmas, but you get the special parade, the special fireworks, hot chocolate you can go and get, some Christmas cookies. And the best thing of all is it's controlled attendance, so you don't get as many people in the parks, so you can really blitz through things and get things done.
That's very true. If you've got sort of younger children who are going to want to be in the Christmas sort of magic, they're going to be going off and sort of seeing the characters and the parades and enjoying all the cookies and that kind of stuff. If you've got older kids, maybe they just want to go on Space Mountain again and again and again without giving up. So for them, it's fantastic because they get to go on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Splash Mountain, Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, all those kind of cool rides that we have to queue up a lot for during the day. They can crack on and do those as many times as they like. So it is value from. It's not cheap, but it's great value.
It's not, but it's one of those once in a lifetime things, isn't it? You push the boat out. If you are there for Christmas, you feel that you should go and do the parties. Although if you don't want to do the parties, it's definitely worth trying to find somewhere outside the parks to watch those special fireworks, because it is a special fireworks just for Christmas. And there are quite a lot of places just outside of the parks where you can watch those fireworks, even if you don't want to go into the parks. One thing to take note of, though, is to make sure that you know when those parties are. They're normally like 2 or 3 times a week. So even if you're not doing them, the parks are going to be closing a little bit earlier on those nights. So, normally advise maybe not going to the park that day if you're wanting to stay later, because you're going to have to be leaving around about 6 o'clock because all of the special party guests are going to be coming in.
That's true. I mean, you can hop over to another park if you wanted to, or maybe that's one of the nights that you think, actually, we'll go and do a special character dining over at Epcot on that evening instead. So you can always sort of jump around. I'm quite a fan of park hopping. I like to. Yeah,
no, it is good. I mean, I'm normally well finished by then if I've had an early start in the parks. It's nice dinner somewhere in the evening rather than hopping over to a nighttime park. Then, as well as Christmas, we've got New Year's Eve. So in Paris, they have a special party, don't they?
Yes. So it's an extra ticket event, a bit like the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas over in Orlando. It's a hard ticket event, so you can't get in to the main park, so Disneyland Park, after about, I think it's sort of 6 o'clock. And you're going to have a special parade that you're not going to be able to see any other time of the year. You've also got special fireworks as well. And it's just an amazing atmosphere. Again, it's a capped attendance. So I remember being a cast member before these hard ticket parties where the park would be full. And I remember walking through the park after leaving work one day, and you just couldn't move. People everywhere. Now, by having a hard ticket event, they limit the capacity. So when you're actually in the park, you're going to have a much nicer, better experience. If you don't want to go to that park, you can always go to the Walt Disney Studios. and go into there. There's no additional ticket required for entry into there.
Yeah, I mean, New Year's Eve over in Disney World, all the parks will be open and you don't need a special ticket, but be prepared. It's going to be a busy night. I mean, the fireworks at all of the parks, apart from the Animal Kingdom, of course, we don't have fireworks over there to disturb all the animals. I think Epcot is the most popular park to be going to for New Year's Eve. And that's a big park, so it can definitely absorb the number of people that are there. But don't go expecting a quiet night. There's going to be crowds.
It's not going to be a silent night.
No, definitely not. I mean, people do say to us, isn't it? Oh, is Christmas a good time to go to Disney, whether that's Disney World or Disneyland Paris? And I mean, it's a great time to go for all of the, the reasons that we've just said, because you're getting a really special experience, lots of magical things to do. But it's a very, very popular time to go.
Busiest and most expensive times of the year to go. So don't expect to go thinking you can do it on the cheap, and don't expect to go thinking that you're going to be able to tick off 50 rides in a day or 20 rides in a day. It is a case of you're going to be queuing to go onto the rides, you're going to be queuing to get into the park, and it is going to be more expensive than going any other time of the year, just because it is the two busiest weeks of the year.
I mean, at Disney World, it's not unusual for the Magic Kingdom in particular for them to have to close entry because it's reached capacity. And, that doesn't happen very many days in the year, but Christmas Day, you can expect that. And New Year, certainly, you need to be in the parks earlier in the day if you're wanting to be there for the evening, because come mid-afternoon, then they won't be letting anybody else in. I mean, the way to get around that is to be going earlier in the Christmas season, isn't it? So you said maybe like mid-November. So prices are lower then. I mean, particularly in the US, if you're avoiding the Thanksgiving week, then that can be one of the most cost-effective times of the year to be going, because that isn't peak season, but you're getting all the benefit of the Christmas celebrations.
Exactly. If you can either take the kids out of school or they're young enough or old enough to not be at school, then it's a fantastic time of the year to go. You're going to get all the decorations and all the festivities without the crowds. Much lower crowds by going in November. Okay, yes, Thanksgiving does get busier, but it's only really for sort of 5 or 6 days. I arrived a couple of years ago, the Monday afterwards, a Cyber Monday, and the parks were busy on that day, but by Tuesday, Wednesday, it calmed back down again.
Yeah, and it's a really, really good time to go. And I can't believe one thing we haven't mentioned is the Christmas food. Snacks and things. So they definitely go big style into that, don't they? So lots of themed snacks and food that are available.
Oh, definitely. I remember last time I went to Hollywood Studios, my sister had a candy cane cocktail.
Wow, that sounds sweet.
Yeah, it was very, very sugary. And she had that whilst we watched the Beauty and the Beast show. And I obviously tried a little bit of it, and very, very, very nice, but very, very sweet. I couldn't have drank the entire cup like she did.
Oh, no, I'm not sure I could either. Lots of people ask us if they're there for Christmas Day, can I get like a traditional Christmas meal? So if they do want the turkey and all the trimmings, are they going to be able to find that in Disneyland Paris?
Yes, you can do. The 24th of December is actually a bigger night for the French. So it's a night that traditionally you go and spend with your family. So, for example, restaurants outside of Disney will be closed. So all the restaurants around me close at sort of 6 o'clock on the 24th. So that's the night where if you have a meal plan, the evening of the 24th, your meal plan does not work. It's a special meal that's going on. Then on the 25th, there are Christmas turkey meals, same as we would have, that are available to purchase. I think it's Sequoia Lodge is usually the one that has the turkey meal, so you can go to that one if you want to. What most people generally tend to do is, because they are a lot more expensive than normal meals, is they generally tend, especially for a meal plan and it's not covered under it, is they tend to have the Christmas Day meal. I mean, I've done it a few times, is you've ended up having pizza, burger, theme park kind of food because you're in the park, and then have just like a normal meal, and then you have your turkey dinner when you get home.
Yeah, you don't have to have turkey at Christmas, do you? Especially if you're somewhere different, you can go for it. I mean, at Disney World, probably the closest place, if you do want that kind of traditional meal, is to go to the Liberty Tree Tavern. So they serve their Thanksgiving meal every single day of the year. So you can go and have that. But there are so many amazing restaurants with a whole kind of every kind of food you can imagine in Disney World, either in the parks or down at Disney Springs. So you're certainly not spoilt for choice if you want to go and have a special meal.
Oh, definitely. You're not going to be going hungry
One other thing that we haven't talked about, which I think is a really, really special thing that they do in Disney World, is the candlelight processional. If people haven't heard of that, it's a special show with music, with choirs, and also a narrator telling the Christmas story. I know you've been to that and you really enjoyed it.
It was my favourite thing for that trip. It's part of a dining package. So we went and had breakfast at Yacht Club in the morning, and then you get your ticket to go in the evening to the candlelight procession. And our narrator was Whoopi Goldberg.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure that was amazing. They do have some really famous narrators, don't they? So Neil Patrick Harris, I know, does it. So you can see the schedule beforehand of all the people who are going to be doing it. If there was somebody special that you wanted, I think you can get tickets just by queuing up, but doing it with the meal package is the way to go, because then you know you've got it. You've got to eat, haven't you? So you might as well get the ticket thrown in too.
You might as well. I mean, we did the breakfast. It was the cheapest option. You can have a lunch or a dinner if you want to. There's quite a lot of restaurants that take part in this dining package. We just didn't want to risk either having to queue up for 5 hours to be able to go and see Whoopi Goldberg, or not be able to get in at all, because majority of the seating is given over to the people on these meal packages.
Yeah, so definitely look to book one of the meal packages if you do want to go and see the candlelight processional. I know Disney have just uploaded a recording, I think, of last year's candlelight processional.
Yes, and we've put a link to it in our show notes as well. So obviously people aren't going to be able to get over to go and see it this year. So you'll be able to go and see what happened last year and previous years on YouTube, and the links in the show notes. Now here's our top tips to have the most magical trip to Disney during the festive season.
My very top tip is go for Christmas, but maybe go a little bit earlier in the season. You're going to have all the shows, all the decorations, get all the Christmas spirit, but it's not going to be so crowded. The lines are not going to be so long, and it will be a little bit cheaper for you as well.
My top tip is to make sure you plan your day around the different shows. Usually you plan your day around which ride you're going to do, but there's so many Christmas shows on that it's worth making sure you pick up a guide at the front of the park or download the app, and it's going to tell you all the different show times and plan your day around those.
My next top tip is make sure you go and visit the hotels. Remember, you can go and tour any of the hotels, both at Disneyland Paris and at Disney World, and some of the very best decorations you can see there.
And my last tip is to make sure you book early. Availability is at a premium at Christmas. It's the busiest time of the year, and Disney regularly sell out of rooms. So if you want to stay in a particular hotel on particular dates, you need to make sure that you book nice and early. If you're looking to book your trip to Disney for 2021, make sure you get in touch with us at fairytaleholidays.co.uk or check out the link in our show notes.
Yeah, so you can already book for Disneyland Paris and Disney World for Christmas 2021. We have already got a lot of people booked to go and visit, which is really exciting.
Yes, it's great to have something festive and fun to look forward to for next year.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much for listening to our festive Christmas bonus episode. We really hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. Make sure you hit subscribe now to keep up to date with our weekly podcasts when we release them soon.
All that's left to say is have a very Merry Christmas
and a Happy New Year.